Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights. Thanks, sponsors. Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, Heritage Auctions, Huggins Scott Auctions, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Burbank Sports Cards, ComC.com, and Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication. The second part of the hobby dinner conversation about Pique, or Peak. You probably need to listen to part one before you get into part two, but this is the last half of it. A great discussion, great attendees, really pleased with how it came out, but you just need to listen and enjoy. So here it is.
My view on what's coming in the hobby is very positive. We're really looking forward to it. The thing that really made it hit home for me was at the National this year. And you've seen more and more kids show up at the National over the last 4 or 5 years. But we walked into our hotel after we were out for an event, and I walked through the lobby, and there were like 1,000 people sitting in the lobby, and everybody's trading. Like it was till 2 in the morning. Yeah, it was like this massive organic trade night that nobody set up, but everybody was in the same place. And it was like, hey guys, come here. Let me show you what I found today. And you could hear people just telling stories. Oh, where'd you see that at that table? It was amazing to see that community and the camaraderie. And I'm really looking forward to what's coming in the next couple of years, because for the first time since I was a kid, people that are completely dialed into it and they love this hobby and they're super informed and they're passionate about what they collect and they're willing to share it with all the people around them. It's been an amazing run all the way through the hobby, but these last couple of years are massively encouraging.
Were you a lifer when you came to work at our company?
Yes.
Already a lifer.
I had already
So
been.
you didn't convert or have this experience. You were already.
I was 8 years out of the card shop when I joined Beckett. So I had done that for 8 years on time. I didn't make any money at the card shop at all. Like every cent I made went back to, because my boss, Harry Agins at the time, gave us the option that if somebody comes in that we're collecting, we could purchase it over the store purchasing it. So that was one of the perks there. So I made $0. I worked at a card shop. Got a lot of really cool cards.
I sent a resume in at 22, but no one ever got back to me. So
You're hired.
I think it was 92. I sent in the lesson.
Ron.
So I'm going to peek around the corner in the future too. My son and I, all we do is card shows. Dallas Card Show mostly because we're here. It's so big, it's easy. We don't have to travel anywhere like we used to. We used to travel a lot and live back in the Carolinas because we had to get to shows. We don't do anything online anymore. We quit doing that right before COVID. We found that we weren't spending the time together that we wanted to. We were too busy getting stuff prepped. Just put on eBay, sell to eBay, a package or whatever. So we enjoy talking to people. That's what we do. We enjoy teaching young kids that come in or anybody that comes in and this is their first card show, what it's all about. Whether you want to collect pre-war or whether you want to collect the new stuff, how do you collect something to get to something else that you want? We go through all that with them, but there's a couple of questions that always come up to the people who have been in the industry a little bit that always ask. And that is, what is it going to look like with the license changes that's taking place right now? There's some concern there. They know what's going to happen because you see it happen, but what's going to happen to the cards that they currently have right now? Are they going to lose value? Are they going to be more sought after, less sought after?
You like Panini.
Correct.
They're not a defunct brand, but they no longer fully licensed.
That's correct.
My answer to them would be that they're just fine. Those cards aren't going anywhere. Those are always their rookie cards. They've been producing some of those sets for 8, 15, 16 years now. Lots of heritage behind it. People are attached to them. They know what they've got, and they're very passionate about their great brands. I work there. I know all about their brands. And so I'm very proud of the brands that Panini has. And I don't think that there's a lot of concern about losing value or not being valuable in the future, because those are going to always be there. How about Dowdy cards?
And the answer is very similar. You had Omen in the 50s, you had Fleer in the 60s.
You back Upper Deck has tremendous heritage, particularly basketball cards. Over even football and baseball, their basketball cards are what they're special.
They're exquisite.
Exquisite is perfect example. That's my answer to that. They don't have anything to worry about.
Agree with
and as far as value wise and their cards holding value.
Thank you for that input. And the second question that you get asked quite a bit is some of the folks that kind of moved from the 80s into the 90s when there was an overprinting and overabundant cards. To some, it feels like we're getting there again because you've got the hobby, you've got the retail, you've got so many different variations of it. As Dane was saying earlier, when you used to have an 84 Mattingly Ricky, you had an 84 Mattingly. And 8 years ago, you would open a box of cards and you would have 8 different variations of refractors that were numbered. And now you've got 32. So you can do the backward math and know what the crimp run is. When is enough? We get asked. And when are going to hit that bubble? And nobody wants to hit the 90s bubble.
There's less cubic feet, as Bill could attest to. Less cubic feet. Okay, Bill.
I'm going to do a little bit of current and a little bit of future. Currently, it's great for us. I can't buy enough cards. I can't sell enough cards. I can't hire enough staff. I've never had a direct account in my life, and I probably sell more cards than probably 99% of the shops in the country, because if I had direct accounts, I would be beholden by what Topps wants from me, what Panini wants from me, or whoever else wants from me. I'm not committed to any particular company. If wholesaler, whatever, retailwax.com calls me and they have a $60,000 deal, I'm going to counter them at $45,000. Or if someone comes into me with, Jim's been to my house.
Have you ever not countered?
I do not counter at times. But usually so we've messed up. For example, the other day I went in and just bought a single card collection. They came into $100,000 value in Beckett. No vintage whatsoever. It was from 93 to 99 cards. Awesome stuff. They just missed 2000 for Brady. But it was every single Jordan insert from 93 to 99 imaginable. So you can imagine how awesome that was. I get it for 35% because no matter what, they're still printing cards till the end of time. Now you got to find stuff for specific collectors. I have 10 million cards in a warehouse. I go through it. I forget I own them. Now, what I see missing for our future is I haven't looked at a card with player statistics on the back from beginning to end of their career or current career in the last 10 years. Nothing's come out with statistics on the back of a card, which that drives in collectors more than anything in the world. If you look at an AA Topps card, at least then the kid's educated on what Ricky Henderson did his entire career. He knows those stats. I think stats are big and they're missing on the cardboard now. I think it'll help the kids. It'll help everyone else now. I know shows are great, and I see lots of kids at shows. After 52, there is no rarity, but it's all relative to your thought process and how you look at this market, because there are more than enough cards to go around for everyone. Yes, there's some rare Jordans out there, but I guarantee you there's a lot less Manals on 63 Topps cards than there are total Jordan autographs out in the market right now, or let's say 67 and below. Just not there. So value-wise, it's going to keep skyrocketing because there's so much new money. And when all these Pokemon collectors turn to sports, that's just new money coming into the hobby that we need to try.
You think 2026, 2027,
Yes.
at some point, the Pokemon crowd is going to move toward Leon or just towards
mid-modern? If we can get some stats on the back of these cards. I heard what Topps doing is awesome. It's like the kids wanting the guy's first shoes. That's awesome because that'll drag in those 8, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's the market you want to go after. Bringing in athletes. Like when I saw Brady at Fanatics Fest, I don't go to big shows anymore, but that was an awesome concept. And what Topps is doing is really good.
So Bill wants you to do a Topps total, complete stats on the back for every player that ever played.
That would be awesome.
56,000.
That would be interesting. That. I mean,
Yes.
Actually,
Leon might even be.
Yeah.
The old timers did.
from collectors is they prefer to not have the stats on the back because they have the internet. And if they want to know the stats, they'll look them up on the internet, put other stuff that's interesting to us about the player on the back.
I don't know.
I like
Sometimes I like looking
What do
at
you mean?
baseball cards.
Well,
and go to the internet.
So for stats, and then you just go Cal Ripken.
So you have Google, you have all these search engines to find stats, but I'm holding a card in my hand. How can I have the card show me those stats, but they don't have to be printed on the back?
The card.
You are
Yeah, it would
takes them to their site.
That's 2 steps.
Just being honest, that's the feedback we've gotten on
I
that.
agree.
QR code
Yeah, on that.
What? QR code.
They didn't
And
have
I
those
think,
back
I
in
think
345.
Topps Caskin, it has stats on the back. A lot of the mass market cards have all the stats on
My
the back.
best selling product right now is 23 Topps Chrome Blasters and 25 score mega boxes. The most basic stuff in the world are my best sellers
Because of the price point?
It's because
because of the price point and just the simplicity of the cards. That's what people like. Just best sellers for a novice collector, outside collector, not a hardcore.
So are they buying those to flip or
They're buying them for their aunt, uncle, cousin.
everything?
Yeah, they're buying them purely for collection. No value whatsoever. They're just buying it. That's your novice collectors
Cool.
buying Score Football, which is the absolute best-selling item every single year.
Wow.
I would say the reason why is because I think we oftentimes forget about the power of the masses, right?
Yeah.
We kind of discount. There's not that many people interested, but there is. It's like this
There
is a
are so
niche
many
industry,
people.
but there's so many, and you can see that your biggest seller is that product.
The
because
price
people-
point and the product.
You're
Simplicity.
realizing the power of the masses is huge.
Mhm.
We think this goes this far, but in reality, it goes so much farther
It's
because
huge.
of the people that aren't at every show, aren't dealing on eBay, aren't getting stuff graded. The power of the masses.
They want a top
Mm.
rookie card.
My new theme this past year is we got to stop underestimating the power of the masses because there's so much more we can reach so many people in this world.
If you're at the National and you walked around to the hotels and you saw the thousands of
Yeah.
kids doing trading every night
And know that
at
it goes
all the
things-
hotels around there.
There's-
It's crazy.
And
It's
think
awesome.
about all the people who couldn't afford to be there. And those are the people that
Well,
are
at
buying.
night, though,
yeah.
They could afford to
Oh,
be
sure.
there.
Yeah.
They did trade night.
Yeah.
I'm
right.
wondering what the
Right.
true attendance of the National was
Yeah.
if you had a way to determine by
It's not
drones or
even
something
1/10 of your
to see
of
that
your crowd. The national.
Oh, no.
Not even
200,000
small.
That's
people
not even 1%
within that
of
5-mile
crowd.
radius.
Reverse.
They were either at trade nights or at the
That's
show,
not-
or the soccer show that was 2 miles away.
I don't watch YouTube.
It also doesn't take into account the other continents in the world.
Well,
I can
sure.
tell
Yeah,
you that
absolutely.
it's about to be unleashed in Asia and Australia.
That's mind blowing.
It could
In
double
terms of the number of people or the dollars?
both. We can tell that by the amount of the mass market stuff that gets consumed in those continents, in those specific places in the world, that you can send what we think is a lot of product over there and it's just gone. And it's 2 reasons on the mass market stuff. The first one, of course, is it's a lower price point and most people can afford it wherever they're at.
Yeah, that's what I've been.
That's
doing
one
mail
of the
order.
things we've found. Yeah.
Doing mail order, it's mind blowing. You can't get enough of them lower end product to supply the mass market. If the price point works, you can't bring me enough.
Correct.
So you call it a kids product. Kids don't get it, but it's a low price product and it sells like hotcakes.
It does.
Fortunately, the kids don't get it, but except
Well,
in
the base Tops blasters, kids get it.
I've seen a lot of 14-year-olds with $50,000 in their briefcase.
Yeah.
Which John is going, what is going on?
That's mind blowing stuff.
but their parents didn't give them 50,000. No, parents gave them $500
$500
on their
bucks,
birthday,
they
and it turned into
yeah.
50,000.
And then they'll open their case, and then their case they've got another $150,000. To me, that's pretty entrepreneurial, I guess would be the way to describe that. But it's also mind blowing.
How many cards did you have when you were 15?
A couple million.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I'm saying,
None of them were.
what was
Yeah,
the
none of
street
them-
value of that?
When I was 15, the oldest cards I had probably were early 60s, maybe late 50s.
Okay, so you were a millionaire when you were 15.
Yeah, okay. Maybe. I never had it in cash in a briefcase. With me at a show.
Okay,
Yeah, because I wouldn't have had it.
because you couldn't lift it.
That's a good point. But the amount of collectors that are worldwide, I think, will be something that revolutionizes everything we're doing. When you have questions about mass production, it's because that's the market. It didn't used to be that way.
Oh, there's no more remainders. It
No.
goes to a different continent.
There's still some remainders, but not a lot. It's not like the 80s and 90s in regard to it used to be. It sounds like a lot of product, and you see all these parallels, and you go, well, how many cases of this or boxes of this do they make? It's being consumed everywhere. And I know Fanatics gets approached all the time about the eBay of China.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Tmall, the amount of opportunity is going to expand quickly, which is good for all the collectors.
What's crazy is when we started doing that, because we've been doing basketball since 15 years together now. And I actually did basketball at Beckett. I did the basketball price guide there, and that's why I transferred over there. But on a whim, we started building product because we noticed there were these guys spending tons of money on single cards over there. So we said, let's go ahead and build like a real simple product. And I think the box had a suggested retail price of $100. Like days after release, we're seeing them turn for $750, $800, $1,000. And it was like, whoa, wait a minute. There's something here.
What it happened to was just a bunch of different SKUs that were created for different parts of the world, exclusive to that area. So when it shows up on eBay, all of a sudden people go, what is that? Where did they get that?
Actually, Panini didn't do pack odds.
No.
They did counts.
They did.
What's there?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason. That's interesting.
Yeah.
One thing that's piqued my interest in the last year is repackaging.
The repacker.
Big packers. I had no idea that this whole cottage industry.
Huge.
There were guys walking around the National. They say, we need to buy 8,000 graded cards, and we're trying to get to 15,000 to repackage. And I was like,
And they don't care what it is.
Right.
As long as
there's not enough product on the market to satiate
I mean,
the demand.
fear will catch up to them. The cards never stop printing.
Yeah.
Ingraded.
They're different parts.
Yeah, they're different collectors.
The cards do stop being printed. It's just new. It has to take a spot.
But it's a never-ending cycle because some of those cards that are being repacked are getting purchased a month or 2 months later and going in different repacks.
Exactly.
So it's just
But they have buybacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that.
That's
All
why
that's
I'm
true.
so nice to my customers.
Yeah.
Because they bring it back.
I see people come in and I had a guy come in the other day. Here's for my birthday, and he literally bought out all our Pops football product in my showcase that day. My new Tops football product. I have to turn away sometimes. And and I'm totally blunt. I said, you're going to get 50% of your money back. Sometimes you'll do okay. But it's my birthday. I don't care. I'm the nicest person in the world to that guy. I talk about, I tried, but it's tough, but they're pure collectors. And he came back 3 weeks later and spent the same amount of money because they literally just love sports cards, opening them, getting a hit, and moving on. And that's where the repacker comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.